What's up, X-Fam? We are here today to talk about something I don't think I've ever really covered before. Sentinel Alpha and Sentinel Beta's damage boost install supers. They both, for their level 3, have a damage increase install. Now, they're not very good. They give about 60% more damage, and it's not like Sentinel Beta really needs damage because she has such a potent level 1. Yeah, she just does so much freaking damage with her level 1, it doesn't really matter. But I love the idea of this. I think if you're kind of trying to justify it in universe, they've got they're sort of overclocking as they're taking on the mutant threat. They're adapting to the character's powers, their opponent's powers. They're getting a boost from Bastion. However you want to justify it, I think it's a cool mechanic for the Sentinels themselves. That being said, you can't combo into this thing. This is not like a MVC2, MVC3, where you get these fast installs and then can do something afterwards. You really even on something like this, if I hit super late with this front kick, wait for him to tumble backwards, hit the wall, get him stunned, there's still no way to combo, even from the longest of stuns that she's capable of doing. It really stinks because the best you can kind of hope for is some kind of knockdown and then pressure. That's really it. It kind of stinks. So then you're just up in their face with 60%. And she does have an instant overhead, and she does have a low that she can combo out of. But again, this is actually hard. That's that's a hard combo because you're not supposed to be able to do it. But that being said, I wish that this was more a cohesive part of their kit. It would be fun to not spend level 1 or 2, get a launch and then install and then go from there. Now, I also kind of understand why. I don't know if they knew about CCR. If you guys don't know, CCR is combo counter reset glitch. I don't know if they knew about it back then, but this would make her an utter menace. You would do just this and then level 1, and then if you had power damage activated, you would just nuke everyone. There would be nothing they could do to survive. So I kind of understand why it's not easily comboable. You can't combo into it or out of it. It's just a shame. It is really unique and fun. And with Sentinel B, she actually has sauce. She has cool stuff. She has an instant overhead with jump 3. She has this low here, which you can combo out of. I also love being able to do that, but I'm clearly not landing it now. She has cool stuff like that. Sentinel Beta is cool. Sentinel Beta is very cool. But let's show off Sentinel Alpha, because Sentinel Alpha also has a damage increase. And the only time I could suggest doing something like this for Sentinel Alpha, because his level 2 is super good. This guy right here, really good for its price. Not only that, it leaves you with really good Oki if you don't finish. You can just keep on doing it. So that's cool, but again, it takes him so long. Let me see if I can get I'll jump back instead. Just see how long he even stands there just doing nothing. It's too much, dude. You can't do anything. Even if you were, even then, you might even be punishable there. That is a harsh recovery. So with this character, I think there's even less that you'd be able to do. What could you do? I'm trying to think of all his stuns, all the stuff you could potentially do. You could do something like this and then activate a late 2, a late jumped. Ugh. I make too many excuses for this character. He's just not very good. And I want him to be better. So I want both of the characters to be better so they can actually combo into these things, because that would be sick. Even if it was just 1 or 2 moves that didn't have a ton of potential but could set up Oki or whatever. Yeah, I think it's really interesting that these guys were given this cool overclock damage increase install, and it just, they can't really use it. It is neat, and I'm glad they have it. Because I do think it makes you think about, you know, what you could potentially do. But it's just like, also, yeah, that beam did go over Havoc's head, because that's a thing that happens. That's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. There's only one other character who gets an install, who gets a damage increase, and that's Rogue when she steals power from either Gambit or Sabretooth. And I think that's also very cool, but again, not super useful in the grand scheme of things. There are a lot of installs in this game. I think the only one I can really think of, there are some shields. So like Juggernaut gets a projectile shield, as does Magneto. And Jean gets her empathy shell, which is really cool. If you hurt her, you take damage too, which is great if you like are in the lead and you just do that and then they end up killing themselves. They can't kill themselves. They can be left with 1 HP, but that's it. I'm talking too much. I really like this. I wanted to show off the install. I wanted to show how it could have been cool. And especially, like, I think there's some fun justifications if you're thinking about in-universe lore stuff for, like, giving them this as opposed to any other character. Unfortunately, it's just kind of dookie. And that's it. Hurts, though. All right. Later, gang.